ESL Open Cup number 57 Grand Finals, as we've got in the top left-hand side of the map. Our red Terran player, give it up if you're cheering on HeroMarine from Mouse Sports. Taking on the blue Zerg Reynor from Clash. Of course, this is the Big Game Weekly, but one of HeroMarine's biggest weaknesses in the Big Game Weekly has been Reynor over time. Excited to see how this best of 5 turns out, as these guys usually play. I feel like Reynor usually is very favored in their series, but they play very fun games, you know? It's not like a complete stomp. Sometimes the scoreline is like a 3-0, but Reynor, you know, the actual games themselves are very close, very back and forth, and that kind of stuff, right? So, excited to see what the ZvT brings us. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, hello. One of those rare occasions where we're probably kind of just planning to put this on YouTube, and I'll take the opportunity to say hello, welcome. If you're watching for the first time on the YouTube, even better, hello. Just wanted to say hi to you guys. Obviously, if you like it, like and subscribe. The usual stuff help keep pushing the YouTube channel forwards. It's been a very slow start of 2021 for the YouTube. But hopefully getting back on the right track again, can start pushing some subscriber goals once more. We want to try and start making our way towards 40,000 subs, where we're going to do a little bit of a celebration. We'll do a little bit of a celebration. We'll do a little bit of a bonus tournament when we get there. We're ways off right now, but just something in the works behind the scenes for now. Alright, so yeah, best of 5 series, obviously fresh out of the replay pack that I've got. To cast today, this is from ESL Open Cup number 57. Was played, I guess, February 8th was the date officially for this matchup. So again, about a week and a half old. Always interesting to see what these guys are going to bring. TVZ meta is not exactly shifting a lot right now, though. TVZ meta is very much so set in stone as to how it's, you know, how it plays, how it goes, what builds are good, what builds you sometimes see, that kind of stuff, right? So in that regard, we're kind of well set. As the Reaper comes down toward the bottom right-hand side. Starting to put some pressure on, so this Reaper opening to deal a bit of damage early. Yeah, I've seen one of the things that has shifted a little bit in TVZ lately has been the amount of non-Reaper openings that we've seen. But that's not going to be the case here. It's just something to keep in mind and to look for throughout the series, because it's possible you see some openings that are not Reaper focused and so on and so forth. So it's something to watch out for as we move through. We'll see if HeroMarine switches it up at all. Interested as to what HeroMarine brings. I know he likes to bring a lot of 8 racks and aggressive styles when he plays against Reynor, but it's obviously not been good enough to bring him proper success lately, so we will see fairly soon what his plans turn out to be. For the early game, at least, it's just 3 CCs, so it is going to be macro focused for the early game. Not really much to mention there for the moment, as the Reaper moving out around the front, trying to figure out where it wants to go next in the next few moments. A couple Hellions moving into the middle. And ripping a couple Hellions, trying to see what's up. Factory is on the way down into the main base. It's going to be a second factory to switch this up completely. I like this from HeroMarine. Opening this series was something very with a big difference in pacing to kind of what you would usually expect to see. Right, definitely a little bit off from the usual. And what's the plan for this? Is this just going to be into Blue Flame? Is this? I mean, he starts Stim at the front, so I imagine this is just the idea of showing some Blue Flame Hellions in the early game and pressuring with that. Stim just ticking along at the moment here. Baneling Nest is going to be finishing fairly soon, and the Viking up the right-hand side looking to see what's going on. Infernal Pre-Igniter is about to start, so again, it's that Blue Flame for now. But with Stim on the way as well, like I say, it's kind of lining up a bit different than usual. It's going to be very quick Stim after the Blue Flame is done. And again, plenty of Hellions, so we'll see how well Reynor can deal with this. As there's an armory, so we can morph these Hellions into Hellbats somewhere along the way as well. Come through, we grab a drone. Looking good there. Hellions at the front. A couple of creep teams going down, and again, this isn't the real point of pressure just yet. The thing is, Reynor's scouting is really just not here, right? He has no idea what's going on. His Overlord early in the game picked off, and now, yeah, just kind of blinded to what the follow-up is. That's why you go for the Viking early with this as HeroMarine, to make sure you don't get scouted on the follow-up. Now Overlord speed's coming in as well, so this is also maybe something of a reaction from HeroMarine, seeing no Overlord speed this game, because Reynor does open Overlord speed a lot, so taking advantage of him not opening Overlord speed for the rescouts, and now more and more Hellions showing up. At what point does Reynor start to think, why are there more and more Hellions still showing up here? And Blue Flame is now done. See, now he knows what's up for sure anyway. Extra Bane's gonna morph in. These Hellions run into some Bane lanes, and now they're surrounded by Queens, so HeroMarine losing a lot of the tools he was just setting up to use. That is a big mistake, an unnecessary mistake as well. That is a real shame, as we see a few drones going down the mains. The Hellion drop is going to find more than anything else, so finally HeroMarine will start to get some damage. There's also a little link counter attack picking off an SCV or two on the other side. Overall, definitely feels a little bit better for HeroMarine with the worker's kill, but he has again lost a lot of these Hellions, and I don't know if the few drones that he's found really makes up for the investment into Blue Flame, right? That's the second factory early in the game, the Blue Flame upgrade itself, so many more Hellions. The Hellion production will delay the barracks a lot because you just can't afford that many racks when you're pumping out that many Hellions, right? And you can see the reactor's only just coming up now. So it's going to be 8 minutes when he has reacted barracks 2 and 3 up and running. It's just so late compared to usual. So it's definitely an investment from HeroMarine. There's definitely, side effects to having chosen to go for this build. So let's see how Hellions continue through. There's a little Baneling drop trying to find its way on top of a few Hellions as well. It's trying to find out if anything can happen there. There's a couple Hellions morphing a Hellbat. Banes crash into the Hellbats here as well. So cleaning those out. And again, these Hellions up through to the top side. More Hellions on the bottom here. We're going to try and dive in for the couple drones. Gets one of them already. These Hellions still hanging around, and going to move toward the natural. Ling's going to show up and push these few Hellions away. Those Hellions going down as Hellions Hellbats in the top right side will get rid of a hatchery. Now Queen out in the open here is going to go down as well, so that gets picked up. Banes continue to roll through, and now just continuing forward once again as going to see Lings coming in from the other side. These Hellions fully surrounded. Banes crash in. Everything goes down. Good defense from Reynor, honestly. Yeah, he's taken a few losses here and there, but considering he's playing against these Blue Flame Hellions with pure Ling Bane, I don't think it's been all that bad. He is behind in resources lost, but it's at the it's still at the same time, like I said before, you're still in a position as HeroMarine where this has cost you a lot more to get to the point at which we're at right now. We don't mind dropping the main base to get a start. I'm surprised there's no drilling claws yet. He's been building 3 Widow Mines at a time for a while. Drilling claws is now starting up. I think he just realized that he didn't have it, so probably was meant to have it by now, just never got it actually started. Comes our next set of Widow Mines, and they will go down before even getting to unload. So another decent defense from Reynor. And even if they'd unloaded, they were not going to get to burrow. And again, would have been different maybe if there was drilling claws in play, but maybe not too end of the world in the end there anyway. As you do see Medevac just pulling back. This Medevac on the bottom side, the few Widow Mines inside moving around. Drops one down. Widow Mine connects on a couple drones. Marine's coming through. If the Crypt Gym is going down, the Lingbane Hydra out down to the bottom, gonna run in. This hatchery's gonna get killed, so nice pick off from HeroMarine. He gets out with all the medevacs alive, 2 of them low HP, but still surviving. And the leftover Widow Mines, one of them connects, the other one does not. Worth mentioning as well, this is Lightshade to start off the series. Lightshade is one of the maps which is very Zerg favored, so this is definitely going to be a, you know, a Zergy kind of, you know, if HeroMarine could win this, that would be incredible. But this is generally one that Reynor is expected to be favored on, probably his map to pick to start us off in this best of 5, as we do see around the bottom side. Now these Marines move in and gonna find a kill on this hatchery, which was just on the way up. Now moving forward, a couple creep teamers going down. Queen's taking a few shots of damage. Widowmine connect. Queen takes a hit. And Bane's still setting up. Marine's gonna come in from the upper right, and they're gonna go through for a drone as well. Lift, leave, get the hell out of there. More from HeroMarine around the left-hand side. We've got the Lingbane Hydra on the bottom. About to turn into lurkers as well, so this game is about to take a bit of a change in pace. Away from the kind of faster pace kind of movements to, you know, lurkers can definitely hold positions and defend a lot better. Should stop a lot of HeroMarine's attacks. Being able to come on through. There's a few of these queens going down. Pushing down, Queen's taking some shots. A couple of Banes continue to roll into this. Lings running through as well. Now the Lurkers are going to dive in this. HeroMarine does a really good job on the top side. Fights very well up here, and I think that's going to be the winning part of this fight from HeroMarine, because the bottom side of this fight didn't look amazing for him. But now on the top side, he did so well. He has so many Marines left over. He actually is going to be able to maintain an army. And 4 siege tanks just showed up as well. He's actually building, oh my god. He's building 4 tanks at a time. He's got 4 factories. I want to go ahead and say that's a little bit ridiculous. That's kind of absolutely crazy. Well, just going to be seeing Marines and tanks still heading down through the center and rallying across here as HeroMarine and sieges a tank or so. Units continue to push over the right-hand side. I just obviously HeroMarine got the tank count. I'm not sure if Reynor necessarily has what he needs to break it. He is on the way to Adaptive Talons, which will help get the Lurkers into position to break this down. He's going to move in here. He's actually maybe going to be able to deny these upgrades. That would be huge, right? You lose +1, +3. But it actually reduces what the Lurker's going to do. Every unit now is going to be able to not take as many hits. Viper's in play. Where's the Blind Cloud going to go? They don't have the energy yet. Oh no, the Vipers went in too soon. The Lings on the top side alone are not going to do this, and HeroMarine is going to massively win out in this fight. Not even close at the end. Marines continue to fight these steel Lings that come down the ramp and so, but I think this one might be a bit of a done deal. A couple of abducts and Reynor might hold on for a little while. There is some counter-aggression and Nidus in the main base, but that's actually been handled pretty easily by HeroMarine, who comes down the bottom, cleans out this hatchery as well. And Reynor's just got the right side of the map left over, which is not nothing. He's got good creep in front of the right-hand side, at least on the top of it. So there are some positives to this. It's obviously still far from being ideal. Tank's just on the way in. Marines tanks and medevacs while moving out. Down the south, we're going to see the Lingbane Lurker is making its way up through the top. And Widowmine going to line up already. Goes onto a couple Lings right there. He just doom drops into the main base. Why not? I mean, it's going to be difficult for Reynor to push up this ramp, right? So why the hell not? If you can get the tanks here, it's going to be extremely difficult to break this position. Beautiful Blinding Cloud, though. I mean, okay, if there's ever a way to actually get back into your main, that was going to be it. And the Blinding Cloud was huge, and all the tanks go down. 16 drones fell anyway, and of course, it's a huge commitment through the bottom side, and hence The counter-attack up the top now is going to look very successful. Pushing straight through, getting rid of the hatchery without any concern. Happens pretty much immediately as we come back around the top. Marines, tanks moving around. Lurkers are going to go to the upper right as well. Marines going to stem forward. Overlord's in some trouble. Why is HeroMarine building 5 tanks at once, by the way? How do you afford 5 factories? It's actually crazy, but he's on 7 racks, 5 factories. It's a really good way of getting the tank count high enough to fight the Lurkers and to rebuild those tanks a lot. But boy, A, is that expensive, and B, it really means you're not rebuilding that much bio every time. But hey, who am I to doubt it? Because at the moment, it's working very, very well. It's just something I've not really seen before. Rocks will go down. On the right hand side, just going to be seeing a couple of tanks getting picked away at. Pepper's just going to abduct a little bit. Credit to Reynor, he's really a master at hanging on to games which are really long gone for most players. He's so good at just surviving, using these Vipers, these Lurkers, and that's why he's such a dangerous player. If you can do this when he's so far behind, when he's on even footing, it's just not even a fair fight. As around the bottom, we do see a continued push in. Marines go down. These medevacs in a bit of trouble as well. The top side, Marine tank medevac hanging out as well. And again, it just feels the fights like this are just always going to go HeroMarine's way, right? You need the Lurkers if Reynor's going to be able to fight any of these fights, but that's what HeroMarine is doing brilliantly. He's going from one side to the other, back the other way. He's making these Lurkers reposition, so he's just forcing a lot of fights where it's just Marines against Lings. He's taken a lot of the good engagements, and of course, in the process of all of it, he keeps on shutting down bases and shutting down the economy, making it, again, extremely difficult for Reynor to stay in this. And again, for me, I was kind of signed off on the idea that this game was done a little while ago, but like I say, credit to Reynor, he's really good at making these games continue when they really shouldn't, and well, the question is, when does HeroMarine just find the way in to put an end to this? Because he is now dropping in the main. He's got an army on the right side. I mean, every time I'm looking at this army of HeroMarine, I'm like, surely he's going to, again, maybe not end it, but at least do another round of damage that might just force Reynor out. Vipers, a little bit late to some of the blinding clouds there. The Lurkers do get on top of the tanks, and also Marines show up a little bit late to the party, so they don't have a good time. Drop over here, man, there's actually just Lurkers on every base. Credit to Reynor. Getting up to a Lurker count that high has been impressive, but again, maybe that just means it's time for HeroMarine to bring everything together all at once and just go for the mega push, because if all these Lurkers are on all the different bases, there's no way you can actually defend when you're so spread out. One big push, so that might just be the next step here from HeroMarine to put an end to this. The Brace sieging up, the Lurkers are holding their own for a few moments here. No Vipers or anything this time around though as well, so that's definitely a problem as well. Just going to be seeing the Marines continuing forward. This hatchery is going to go down, and my friends, it seems as though everything is going to be a done deal more or less. You're going to see these tanks still firing, the Lurkers still dropping. Got these other Lurkers of Reynor going to come around the side. They're going to get a few SCVs, depots, and turrets. I mean, nice little counterattack, nice idea, but this Liberator's out, right? And Liberators are going to mean that Lurkers aggressively on their own are just not going to be that successful. HeroMarine's going to go for the drop up in towards the main base again, so moving up over here. The Lurkers on the high ground there are actually going to be doing okay, but you're going to lose this hatchery. Again, I feel like, I mean, I'm commentating a game that's been done for a while. There's only so many things to say. As we do see HeroMarine, I think, is finally going to put the finishing touches to this game finally. If not with this attack, then the new attack that's moving around the top. Reynor is still trying anything and everything he can. Lurkers move into the natural, burrow up. They are going to get pushed back, and those Lurkers are going to go down. So Lurkers dying. Bio is not able to clean it out. Doesn't matter. Everything's gone from Reynor elsewhere. HeroMarine is going to take the first game after 20 minutes. Really was dominating from like 10, 11, 12 minutes or so, though, right? Again, I know I'm not trying to not be interesting, but you know, it gets to a point where Reynor is doing a fantastic job of holding on, but the reality is HeroMarine's just controlling the map. He's running everywhere. He's got bases for days. He's got command centers for days. There's just going to be a point where you can't continue as Reynor, and it was always heading in that direction. So, GG's. Let's see what Reynor's got to bounce back with in game number 2, as we have in the top right-hand side. Up a game, our Red Terran player, now on his map pick as well. I mentioned actually earlier in that game that obviously Lightshade likely be Reynor's pick. This is HeroMarine's pick now. HeroMarine top right on Oxide. I mean, that's got to feel good. 1-0 lead going into your own map pick. Interested to see what will come of that. Down now, down now. Obviously, Reynolds bottom left, and Hatchgas pulling it up to get us started in game number 2 as we listen to the beautiful soundtrack to make our way through the early stages of our second game here. Pool going to be done just momentarily. Factory coming up. Everyone's focused on the spawning pool. Alright, well, we just got factory coming up. It's going to be a double gas this time around. So we are going to switch up a lot from HeroMarine here. As we get that rolling. Starbot coming through, and the Overlord of Reynor makes its way into the main base. The Feeling's gonna sneak along into the natural, and they're gonna go for this SCV. Marine and the Hellion together, gonna push the Lings back though. Back on the way, so we're all going to see something a little bit aggressive here out of HeroMarine early. Only one Hellion at a time, so it's this kind of weird mix of like the Marine drop into some Hellion pressure on the ground. If I'm not mistaken, HeroMarine actually did this against Reynor a while back in an ESL Open Cup as well, and it felt like HeroMarine had a lot of, Reynor had a lot of trouble with it. I believe somebody told me it was a TY/Beyond kind of thing, or build that come around at the time, or recently, in a tournament I hadn't quite gotten to catch up. I know that's a lot of ifs and maybes and oh, this someone said this, but yeah, it's kind of a cool one because it kind of show with just an odd set of units that you're not necessarily immediately set to deal with, you know? Yeah, the Marines just for the moment just gonna pick their way at a few of these bits and pieces, and Overlord is still going down. We do have the Marines pulling back a little bit, a couple Hellions pulling back as well. Banshee Cloak coming through, Stimpak's done, and we do have the Overlord in the main base being picked away by this Marine, so I'm going to take this down in a few moments' time, and obviously good information for Reynor. Gets to see the follow-up, sees the Cloak Banshee building, for example, so really gives you just a lot of information to work with as this Banshee is going to be continuing to set up. Obviously, Banshee's just a good way to pick away at a few drones, slow down the game a little bit from the Zerg side, and keep you very safe as well. I don't mind Banshees at all on a map like Oxide, just in case Reynor tries to play a Roach style, which we have seen be very popular on this map in the past. This really just it really just keeps you much safer, right? In this scenario, as you see these lanes moving in, Marine's gonna get surrounded there momentarily. A few Hellions down the left-hand side, gonna go for a couple of these creep tumors. A lot of these creep tumors being picked away at the moment, so a lot of creep going down. Still got our Queens moving out to the left. Medevac taking a few shots of damage, and first Banshee actually got pushed back away pretty quickly as well. Is there a second Banshee on the map? There is. It's on the natural, so sitting defensively was just a bad idea because you've got every other unit on the map offensively. So if you get caught unawares, then the counterattack from Reynor can maybe do quite a lot of damage. So I don't mind that. ZvT obviously will be looking to move out as soon as we go into our 4th and 5th racks as well. Engineering base is already pumping out the 1-1 upgrades, and that's going to be one of the big upgrades, or big leads that HeroMarine will have. Having 1-1 against the 0-0 is something that's going to be quite nice. You'll have about a 25-30 second window with that upgrade lead, so definitely some opportunities for HeroMarine further down the line. As Reynor not really showing us what he wants to do yet, right? Lair is up, but no lair tag, just the Baneling speed. Does he want to keep this on pure Ling Bane? He might. It seems like one of the more likely ways of this playing out at the moment. ZvT lands. The Lings don't find any SCVs there, just a bit of damage onto the actual orbital. He's moving down. It's going to be running straight into the Banes. Not sure that was quite how this attack was meant to go. Not sure that was the way that this was meant to be executed at all. So, not super pretty. Now HeroMarine has to back it up a little bit. We see these Lings continuing to drop. So, a few more Lings going down. Marines coming in around the bottom side. And the other Lings continue to show up as well. They're going to go up the right-hand side in towards this orbital. He's going to run over again, fight against the Lings. You do see the melee upgrades coming in from Reynor on the 3rd base. There's a bunch of Queens that go down here, and you do see the Overlords being picked away at as well. Half-race upgrade, taking a lot of damage, going to fall very soon. That's a really big denial, right? We talked about the 1-1 advantage, and this was one of the windows that HeroMarine had with it, and now it's extended massively as this fight has just gone his way, and this is really bad because A+1 melee is in some trouble. This is the second time this series the Evo Chambers on the 3rd base is a problem. As Vane's kind of wanted to roll in toward these Marines. A few Lings and Banes pull back away the left-hand side. We have got the Marines still fighting. Line up as much of a fight as possible as we see the Bane Queen forces still joining up together. The Marines bringing that hatch rate extremely low. Bane just continue to go back across the upper side. We've got more Marines from HeroMarine setting down in the center. A couple of Marines on the bottom picking away at the extractor as well. And again, these Marines pressing around. We see Lings from the right-hand side. A few Banes from the right-hand side. HeroMarine gets surrounded. Gets out of it. Man, I can't believe the upgrade lead is going to find himself at 1-1 done, of course. 2-2s on the way, and there's still no 1-1 start from Reynor. Nice little surround from Reynor to keep him alive a bit longer. He needs fights like that and more of them if he wants to stay in this, because it's not going to be an easy game fighting with this upgrade deficit. Need fights like that one as Marines and Medivacs continue through. Things rolling forward, and we do see the Widow Mine. Doesn't go off just yet. The Queen kept back, and another Overlord going down as well. HeroMarine still having the numbers. They push around the left-hand side. Ling, Bane, Hydra, Queen. Still set to go. Queen's doing a little bit of damage. A couple of Banes go down. And everything's still pushing down to the bottom left-hand corner. The Hive is building from Reynor in the natural expansion. So getting that up and ready to go. Bit of Bane Hydra over on the left-hand side as well, as you just see the Marines continuing through. Tank fire is pretty good. The Banes on the top side trying to make their way through. Wow, they do connect. I will not lie, the fights have not been pretty for HeroMarine, right? But the advantage that he has, it feels like this should be a much simpler affair. It was nice that Reynor was able to jump on this before 2-2 was done, because now HeroMarine might not be able to take advantage of the 2-2 versus 0-0 gap. Maybe Reynor avoids the fight until at least 1-1 is done, so it just maintains a single set of upgrade disadvantage. Obviously, a single set of upgrades down is still bad. It's not quite as bad as being two sets of upgrades down, but his Marine's already here, and honestly, units are just going to die so quickly. A couple Banes do connect, but these Hydras will melt beneath this Marine fire, and HeroMarine just going to keep on fighting through, right? There shouldn't really be a way for Reynor to push back against this one. And HeroMarine is going to find the 2-0 lead over Reynor. How about that? 2-0 lead for HeroMarine, getting off to a great start in this ESL. Top left-hand side on a 2-0 lead on match point. Can he win the tournament out right here and now? He might, but it is Mouse Sports HeroMarine. Big Gabe himself and the Big Gabe Weekly looking strong as in the bottom right-hand side. The Blue Zerg player from Clash. Let's hear it if you're cheering on Reynor. Alright, so game 3 of the series. And we do have a hatchery down from Reynor in the natural expansion. So getting that up and running. Getting that ready to go. Reynor's Overlord making its way out up to the top side of the map, so away we go. Novi moving up to the top side. Hatch gas and sooner spawning pool to get us going here on Death Aura. Nice map that can absolutely go long, go a bit back and forth, right? A lot of bases easily taken on this one. We see a lot of cool kind of split map pushing, right? You know, left side, right side, rotating of bases and all that good stuff. All of that happens a lot here on Death Aura, so I think this might actually be one of my favorite maps to watch TVZ on. It's not like super defensive like Romanticide, where it's a bit too hard for me to break into bases. Yeah, I like it. I actually think this one's just fun. It's got like a good amount of in-between, you know? A good amount of in-between. Overlord in the upper left, factory is on the way through. Let me double gas again, so HeroMarine is going to go double gas into the starport, kind of as we would imagine if you go double gas. So far, kind of as expected, we move on and along. I'm just going to be seeing the Zergland speeders on the way up in the main base. Again, that start as well. Again, a couple of Hellions just going to pop down, going to make their way across. So away we go as, again, just holding out a bit of a pressure across the map. We do have the... I think this is very cool. The... have the Hellions just making their way down to the bottom side. So making their way down, just hatch coming up. Fusion core coming in, link speed, overlord speed continuing through as well. And hatch coming around the side. So again, Queen's up to the top side of this and getting set to go. Line's gonna go in for a few of these drones. Again, Link's trying to jump on this. And a few drones going down. And the Overlord just moving around on the upper side. Battle crews are on the way up. And the Hellions continue to just rally out down the front. So again, setting up together, getting ready to move. Again, Hellions just poking around. Bit damage on the creep tumor. And Hellions just hanging out to the right, Stimpack coming through. A couple of engineering bays and our barracks will continue to set up, and again, Eva Chambers just finishing on the bottom side. BC gonna fire, Queen taking some shots. Just gonna be seen again, the engineering bays finishing on the natural in a few moments' time. Our Hellions again around the left. There's the +1 melee, the +1 carapace. Just on the way up. So again, drones continue to come into play. And Queen's push the BC away. I love the fact that we see a BC open and just something different, something fresh. Good change of pace as we make our way around the top of these Hellions as well. A couple medevacs on the way out. Extra Marines coming through. They're just going to make their way across the map in these medevacs. So again, heading down the bottom right-hand side. More medevacs on the way. Melee upgrades versus the bio. Again, just the one BC into the bio is a fairly, it's still a popular way to kind of check things out, right? It's a popular way to set things up. It's not, we don't see BC openers a lot in general, right? It's, one thing more than anything else. Just going to see this Queen picked off. Just going to see the BC coming into the main. Teleports out of there as our medevacs come down the right side and go into the main base as well. Going to begin to unload. Just going to lift back up, back out of there. Again, the Ling's gone down once more. And just going to be seeing our combat shields finishing up. Our extra racks all coming through as well. So again, just really powering up the numbers. Now we are going straight up to 7 racks here. It's kind of similar-ish to what we saw back on the first game, he played 7 racks into the extra factories, right? Into like a crazy number of factories. So interested to see if we kind of see a crazy factory count again, if that's kind of HeroMarine's way of playing this, or what the plan is right now his attack on the right side is going to get cleaned up. So that's attack on the right side gets picked apart. Everything going down over there. Just going to see the SCVs here. We're going to have to pull back to the upper left side as well. I like that the BC is still alive as well. Of course, one of the annoying parts of the BC is that it's always going to keep on showing up, right? It's going to be able to come back into play again and again. This BC comes through, Overlord taking damage. Marines are going to move in. The Queen gets picked off, and again, these medevacs going to load up, pulling back up the right-hand side. Natural. Queen goes down. The Queen's in some trouble as well. Back and forth continues, as you do see on the left. Gilmer Marines going down as well. Marines are continuing to set up. And this army of HeroMarine continues out over to the right, so continue to move along with this. Look, and then coming up on the back of the natural. And a couple of Widow Mines. So moving around the right as well, so far so good. And this HeroMarine wants to keep this attack going down the right, so trying to make a a bit of a play here. The Ling Bane wanting to move through. Again, tanks firing, Bane's being picked up. BC on the left is just going to pick away at these Queens as well. We're just still keeping the pressure up on both sides, right? As the bio comes down the left, these couple of Queens being picked away at, and on the right side, Marines unloading as well. I think still just running into this and just going to be seeing a few spines being picked away at. Lurkers are going to get taken down the right as they try to fight this. They're going to be forced to unburrow, so it's a nice little win for HeroMarine as Reynor still holding the 5 bases pretty comfortably, though. HeroMarine's going to get up to his next command center along. What's the unit count? Oh, the structure count out. It's 9 racks, 2 factories. Kind of interesting that he's still building mines and not going into the siege tanks like we saw him playing previously. He will add liberators on. That's going to be a good, a tool to have against the lurkers. As the medevacs go boosting away up the right-hand side, the rest of the bio through the center. Still hanging around here and just going to be seeing the Lingbane Hydra Force wanting to collect up. Drone's going down. See the Marine out on the right, just picking away that hatchery still. A couple libs. Continue to siege up and use Queens. In some trouble as well. Lurk is still pressing forward, and Liberator is going to siege up once again. If ducks are going to be made as the Bane's still rolling through this. Libra is going to siege up once again, and we're just going to be seeing the Bioforces still pushing through. The Lurkers back in position, but there's a counterattack across the map. So as 22 drones go down, the SCV count's going to start dropping pretty quickly as well. I mean, this natural mineral line's in trouble. The third base too, there's just no reinforcements here. You know, we're kind of caught in a bad moment. There's going to be a few units popping out, can maybe deny these Niduses as Reynor's looking to keep the pressure up. Throwing Lings into this top side as well, going for the planetary. Libra is just going to come back to the upper side as Marines and Marauders continue to unload. Still firing a lot. This Bio taking a lot of damage. Hydra's still moving through. The Widowmine gets picked up, and again, the rest of the Lings getting a bit of a surround on this Bioforce. The Medevac's a little back up, backing away. I like the Niduses, but obviously the Libra is at least able to hold that position. Rainbow's supply has dropped a lot here. HeroMarine maybe taking a bit of control of this. Now, he's actually still got 70 SCVs as well, which I think is impressive given the situation. And the Bio moves down, a couple drones dropping. Hydra falls as well. The Widowmine lining up, and the Medevac's just going to load up a bit of this Bio, move away down to the bottom side as we see the Niduses still being cleaned out. Well, these Lurkers going down on the right-hand side. We see a couple of Lings continuing over, and Widowmine's lining up to connect. The Lings go down there. Libra is still sieging up, and again, the Lings continue to run in. Medevac's going to load. Bane's crashing through. He's still with the supply lead here as he presses around this right side. Hydras do show up, and they're going to get rid of that Liberator. Now, we've got 5 Libs building at once. This is really reliant on the Liberators from HeroMarine. Does Reynor have any way to perhaps start dealing with those a bit better? Not really. 2 Vipers as well, and when you're building 5 at a time, 2 Vipers just can't abduct fast enough to bring them out of the equation. It's a nice Contaminate. Holds one of them up in the starport at least. There's another attempt to Nidus across the map. All you need is one of these Nidus to be a success, and you can shut down the production. So, problem is, I think that this set of Nidus is going to get shut down by Liberators about to spawn. These Libs go down pretty quickly. Is not really enough Bio support in the Hydraless count. Bio moving up the ramp again, going in for those Hydras. Again, Lings on the left. Just going to see the Bio still picking through those. Marauders on the right still coming through. Medevac setting up as well. It's going to be seeing again everything from Reynor joining up on that ramp at the moment. Liberators coming through. HeroMarine is... I mean, the supplies are dead even, right? Reynor has a few more workers to play with. Army supplies a little bit off here and there. Entry gets taken down, and again, a couple of Libs sieging up once more. Libra gets picked off. The Lings are still running by, going in for these SCVs, going in for the buy units. Lib's going to siege up. this series down. Link's still all over the place. 9 workers killed. HeroMarine's still maxed out, as is Reynor. Problem is, I mean, now your economy's falling apart a bit as HeroMarine. You got to be a little bit careful here because, I mean, if you lose this base, you lose these SCVs. You're getting to the point where rebuilding is becoming very difficult. So then you really need to make sure you're going to be winning these upcoming fights. Moving forward right now, these Liberators not siege right away. Gotta say, there's not a lot here from Reynor either, though. So HeroMarine will just back away from it, no issues. This couple things gonna get cleaned out. HeroMarine gonna make his way down the bottom side instead. Liberators are gonna start sieging. There's a lot of Vipers, a lot of Abductors available. Not sure if the Libs are necessarily gonna be a big part of the problem. Lurker's actually gonna wrap in from the left-hand side as well. There go all the Liberators abducted, and HeroMarine. Ooh, taps out GG. Remember, he doesn't have a lot of economy to rebuild with. Reynor has a bank. Yeah, I guess this fight is going to start going very badly for him, but... Okay. Alright, well, I was just looking at this, just trying to figure this out. Yeah, I guess this is going in a way that looks as though HeroMarine's going to lose out, but that was crazy, man. This was a really ridiculous game that's going back and forth a little bit. All the way throughout, guys. You're gonna have to apologize. My throat's giving out on me a little bit. It's affected my casting a little bit in that game. I apologize. Still has match point in his hands. Let's see if he can close out this time around. Our red Terran player is HeroMarine. And the bottom right, our blue Zerg is Reynor. Game 4, as we set up into Romanticide. Romanticide, obviously another large map. I mentioned, like, you know, Death War is the kind of map I love to watch TVZ on because it is this kind of back and forth map. You can go one way, you go back and forth. It's good, you know, amount of rotations, and I really feel like that last game showed us a lot of that. Intrigued to see what the differences are here on Romanticide, right? Like I say, this map to me generally means, you know, stalling out a little bit more, being able to draw the game out even longer. Those kind of things generally become a more frequent kind of factor in Romanticide than on Death Aura. So we'll see if that becomes the case. We'll see how it plays out. I'll be making his way to the upper left-hand side as we've got the Reaper opening from HeroMarine. Command Center down, of course. Last game started off with that battle cruiser as well, so HeroMarine already went for something a little bit different as the Reaper makes its way out down to the bottom right side. Command says just continuing through the factory and the main base, about to finish up as well, and just going to be seeing the Overlord again setting up on the right as the Reaper comes back around. Van Queen putting some damage on the Reaper. Starport setting up in the main base. Rax is going to land up, and again, Command Center just on the way through as our lane speed continues into the action here. And you have the Hatcher in the front continuing up, so setting this up. Queen coming out the front as well. Creep Spread is pushing forward. Speed going to be finishing soon as the couple of queens back over the right-hand side. And again, the Reaper just coming back up to the upper left as well. Overlord moving into the main base. Looking for a little bit of scout information now. The first Banshee's on the way up. This is just a 3cc into Banshee, though. We'll start Cloak. I don't know if you really want to finish Cloak here. I think a Cloakless Banshee can do absolutely fine. So I don't necessarily think you need Cloak here to be successful. I think this may very well just be a fake out. So we'll see. Again, the whole point of this one Banshee can typically just be to keep you safe. We'll see in a few moments. Reynor is going to open with the early lair, so getting that ready to go. Let's see if he comes forward, drops down a depot, continuing to wall that off. It looks like we're going to keep the Cloak, build a second Banshee. Don't get me wrong, Cloak Banshees can still be very useful, right? They can still get a lot done, so not really too surprising on that one. Like I say, it really is a choice. You can kind of go either way. This time he decides to go for 2 Banshees. He wants to get, a bit of extra control on the map as he tries to save this Hellion. Doesn't quite manage it. Now these Hellions going to chase those Lings away down the right-hand side as well. And away they go. Push back from HeroMarine here as we'll see the couple queens coming through. Drones continuing to build behind all of this as Reynor just sets up his big eco. Gets ready for the later stages of the game. Banshee's going to fly overhead, passing over those Hellions. And again, just heading down the bottom side here. Got Stimpack still coming through, the Rack still coming up. Banshee's going to cloak themselves and, well, starts by picking off a Creep Demon, not bad. Right straight into the Overseer with the Queens, though, so that's not going to go as well either, as Banshees will have to back away over the left-hand side again. Spire still just on the way up. Good defense against the Banshees then, and Reynor just going to go into the fastest Spire. So again, fast meters will be behind on upgrades with this style. I think the Baneling Nest is late, though. The Bane Nest is usually meant to be here when the lair is done, so that you can start Baneling speed immediately, and obviously that is not happening right now. So that ain't happening. That kind of makes this, I'm interested if that has some effect, because there's absolutely a world now where there could be a timing, but you just see that this, when you see the Banelings will die because they don't have speed when the first bio push hits, right? 1-1 will be done soon. Combat shields will be done before Bane speed. I think there's a world where you strike without Baneling speed being ready for Reynor, and if the meters can't do enough to buy time or to slow that down, that could be extremely problematic. Hellions getting a couple of Creep Teamers out up the top and just going to be seeing still the Queens on the right side. Gonna fire away. Plus, if he's going down across the map as the meters make their first appearance, I'm just watching this army because I'm afraid of what might be about to happen. Bane speed still not quite ready. Can HeroMarine find something with that timing? He's going to get pushed back to the side, and actually might get intercepted here. Marines are going to cut them off. They do have an exit path strategy to the south, so they will be able to get away. That's scary, though, and actually will get back in range. Is starting to really surround these meters. Oh, he kind of lets them slip out. He didn't need to let them get away like that. I think he actually, HeroMarine could have kept those pinned in and maybe got another kill or two. Marine tank continuing around the right-hand side. Just going to be seeing the meters getting picked away. A lot of these meters starting to go down. The Lings and Banes still in the center, and they're going to try and run up this ramp. Marines are sat here. The Lings run through. Banes Gonna try and connect in. Not quite gonna reach those Marines. Still a lot of fight on the right. Of course, Bane speed now done. That was a lot of what I was talking about earlier. But still no 1-1, so you've still got that advantage as HeroMarine. He is losing a lot of SCVs, mind you. But he's probably going to start killing a lot of drones unless these Banes are going to start making a difference. Reynor needs to start the next round of Bane lanes already. He's actually just going to give up this 4th base. So he's killing SCVs, but he's losing the hatchery. And that generally does not bode well. Continuing to push on through. This hatch going down. Everything else still trying to set up over here. As we push on forward, we do have a few mutas on the right side going to get pushed away. Those mutas get chased back immediately. Again, 2-2 upgrades still just coming through. Mutas, Banes, Lings, all of this still coming up. Bane's going to roll forward for this, going in towards the Marines. We see the tanks firing up a storm as Bane's crashing from the other side as well. But boy, there's so many Marines on this south side. HeroMarine just has an army that cannot be stopped at the moment. Reynor is just not able to control this. And HeroMarine is going to finish up the series 3-1. GG's and wraps it up. Again, sorry guys, my voice is really giving out in these last couple of games. And it's distracting me a little bit from the casting, so I apologize. And yeah, sorry for that, obviously. Not ideal, a little bit unfortunate. Not sure why, it's not like we've casted a lot today. But yeah, sorry about that. And GG's. HeroMarine 3-1 in the matchup.